Hey, Shalom, Akif Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and Bootwell. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, rather than the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is just a quick little live stream, man. Spirit just kind of hopped on me to kind of go into some current events, and mainly a particular current event like this whole return of the C-19. As we know, the ordeal back in 2020 when they locked down the whole nation and pretty much the entire world to push these emergency orders because this particular pestilence derived from the east, I say it that way, which circumvented its way over here to the west, and within a matter of weeks they declared a national shutdown. And the way that it's looking now, that these cases and that these particular variants are popping back up, and these presidents and their wives and just different workers and celebrities are testing positive for the see you know what. So it's looking like they're getting ready to bring back these mandates, because I was looking at that the Secretary of State in that press conference, and she was basically stating that we're going to bring back those old orders, okay, without bringing them back in a roundabout way. But she's basically stating that they're getting ready to bring back the particular mandates, because for the simple fact, this is a new so-called variant that's out. Okay, now I think the new variant out is called Eris, which means the opposite of harmony, which means division and anarchy or something like that. I know we went into it. I went into it a couple of weeks ago, but basically it means basically division. And all these videos are surfing online. Jake is talking about, I wish a nigga would come to my crib trying to put something in me, X, Y, and Z. So, I mean, I believe through the spirit that this is the main one. This is the one that they've been preparing for, okay? Because I remember back in like 2021, 22, something of that magnitude, this guy, Gates, was basically stating that he said that in a roundabout way, look, the next one gonna get your attention. So if this is in fact that, then hey, you better believe that they getting ready to come with some high-powered draconian shit, because they know that for the fact that the first one, people caught on to it. You know, these particular companies and these corporations then fool people out of their businesses, out of their money, their welfare, and their health ultimately. Now, people are pretty much fed up, and they're not going for another lockdown. You know, so what's so spiritual about it is that this brother, I think his name is Yakal, he doesn't follow GMS, but he does prescribe to the doctrine by the names of, I believe his TikTok handle was Lambs of Yahweh Shai, if I'm not mistaken. And he did like a 9.5, 10-minute video going into basically how he had a vision that they were coming with new lockdowns and martial law. And what's so weird is because the beloved brother Hamawan Gabar, he did a lesson regarding a video that surfaced on like BitChute or the other one, I think it was like BitChute or the other one we use, alternative media site, that basically October 4th, when they do the FEMA Prepared Emergency Act shit, like the whole broadcast, the testing of the 5G and the signals and all this other nonsense, basically they was talking about that enacting or activating a particular hormone or protein that's in people's body that receive the jumbo juice, so to speak. So if this is indeed true, and that vision does correspond to what the brother had, then hey, I believe that this may be the one, because that's not the first time that visions about this time that we're speaking about has begun to surface. Okay, during the first lockdown, 2020, the elder bro D-Mash from out there in Indiana, man, he had a vision. He said that he saw people convulsing in the streets. People were literally dying. Like, we had to literally tiptoe over dead bodies because people were dying left and right from this particular thing that they put out here in the world, and they were giving it to people, you know, concocting it. So, hey, this may be it. And one more point before I get into the scriptures. I want to make one more point. Basically, last week at my job, we had to, like, the job I work for, we're dealing with like people with chronic illnesses and obesity and post C-19 syndrome and, you know, high blood pressure. I deal with people like that. So basically, one of our jobs is to get them prepared, so to speak, for a new pandemic to hit the earth. It's called a preparedness plan. And my supervisor was like, if you go to the second floor and you go pick up these brochures just to tell you what you got to do. So basically, Long story short, I picked up a couple of brochures, and this is one of the main ones right here. This right here. Okay, now you may say, well, what's get the fuck away from me? Damn B look like it's gonna sting me. But anyway, you would say, well, what's so significant about this, right? Well, because this is FEMA, this is a FEMA pamphlet, and you got the political side, and then you got the corporate side of FEMA, which the political side deals with the military X, Y, and Z. The corporate side deals mainly with natural disasters and all this other crazy shit that they're manifesting, right? But see, what was so weird, because when I picked this up, it failed. And this is in my folder, right? And every time I pick up my folder, this shit falls out. Now, I'm not a person that's into superstition or any of that, but I do believe that Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai does give signs. And the fact that all this information is coming out regarding this new ordeal that we're witnessing, it says, preparing makes sense, get ready now. Okay, and this is just the spirit, this stood out to me for whatever reason. It just kind of made itself known. Okay, preparing makes sense, get ready now. And of course you got fucking FEMA on here, which we know what FEMA is gonna do when all hell break loose. Okay, according to Alex Jones and according to all these particular reports coming out, basically FEMA is gonna be heavily involved in it, and allegedly they exhausted 94% of their resources, meaning funding, for the new so-called variant coming out today. So we're gonna see how it plays off, but that stood out. But anyway, I got a couple of precepts here, nothing too long. It was just on my spirit to kind of go into it, because I know, we're the prophets. We're supposed to speak on these things. We're supposed to warn Jake about the time to come. So this is the book of Revelation 2:10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. But it says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days, okay? And it says, some of you should be thrown into prison. Now, when you think of prison, you think of, okay, FEMA camps. Okay, you think of county jails. You think of upstate prisons, downstates, whatever you want to call it, right? But this is going into the concentration camps. Okay, these detention centers that they've been activating or they've been working on for Lord knows how long. Okay, you go into the, what is it called, 1984. That goes into basically how the new world is going to have this particular shift of events that's going to pretty much quarantine people off into these particular internment camps or re-education camps to kind of get them online with what's going on in society, and then also it's I think it was by Apostle Gabar goes into it all the time. It's called America Under Siege by Linda something. I can't remember the last name, but basically they go into it on that documentary on how they have FEMA camps activated all across America. Now, once upon a time, they considered FEMA camps to be quote-unquote conspiracy theories, but no, this is actual facts, because finding out when you go into the Rex 84 plan, which deals with rounding up urban communities in the case of an insurrection or natural disaster or whatever you may call it, outbreak, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. Basically, the government, they're allowed to take over people's properties and use them for government facilities, from vehicles to apartment complexes to schools to baseball stadiums, basketball arenas, to pretty much in-house citizens there until the alleged ordeal passes. Okay, so when Yahweh Shai told us to fear none of these things, this is a very possibility that men of the Lord and you sisters and you believers in the faith will have to spend some time in them concentration camps, man. But that's not to make you afraid or to make you doubt, because we understand there's an hour of temptation and it's a time that we must be tried. Okay, so that's us in this faith. You just got to believe and continue to push and call on the name of the Lord, which his name is Yahweh Yahweh Shai. Okay, because if not, then you ain't no different than a regular casualty out here. All right, but it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. But behold, the devil, and the devil is talking about a physical man. Okay, because according to the Christian terminology, when you say the devil, they're thinking about spiritual demon Satan. But spiritual demon Satan, he's not throwing an average man, or he's not throwing a flesh and blood man into prison. You know what I'm saying? A spiritual demon Satan gonna grab you by the collar, a spirit, and throw you head first into a FEMA camp. Okay? This devil was talking about Esau, Edom. Okay? The so-called self-appointed, so-called white man. That's what it's talking about. And it says, should throw some of you into prison, that you should be tried, and you should have tribulation 10 days. Now, 10 days could be 10 minutes, 10 hours, 10 days, 10 weeks, 10 months, which me personally, I don't think we have 10 months to be suffering in a FEMA camp, because for one thing, they stated that we got to create something that's going to make people afraid. Okay, once we get the hysteria going, the fear hysteria, then people will willingly offer themselves to go into these detention centers for medication, for food, shelter, water, showers. And before you know it, we're going to fit them with that MOTB. Because that's the whole point. It makes sense to scare everybody into going into these so-called safe havens so they can just fit everybody up. Because even FEMA admitted that, look, they said it's going to be too much for us to go and round everybody up. So we need a collective effort. Okay, we need people to kind of tap in. We need to train up citizens. We need to train up people that have an idea on how military tactics work. So therefore, we can have more workers. Because if we go door to door, which they plan on doing that, but for them to go every door to door to every single house in America is going to be nearly impossible. Okay, because for the simple fact, it's just way too many citizens. But going into that concentration camp, you got, in order to get admitted, to get the goods and the foods and the shelter and all the good shit, your whole thing is to, bam, you got to get that sticky Vicky, and you got to get the MOTB. Because their stance on that will be, well, look, if you get the MOTB and you get the icky Vicky, then once this whole thing blows over, then you could just go back to your normal life. You go back to your job, you go back, get your benefits back, and and then live your life as you live. But we all know, according to the scriptures say never trust thy enemy. Okay, so it's iron rust, so it's his wickedness, man. So it says, you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful to death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Okay, so hey, some brothers and sisters are gonna lose their lives in these camps, man. Okay, some brothers are gonna get the spiritual power. Some brothers are gonna be on the run. Some brothers are gonna be hiding out. Some brothers are gonna be hiding in plain sight. Certain brothers are gonna not get touched at all. Then you're gonna have a group of brothers and sisters that their lot is to go into these concentration camps and give a testimony for Yahweh Shai, man. All right, but whatever you do not consent. Okay, do not consent into the will of Esau Edom, man. Okay, because next verse it says, he that have an ear, let him hear. But the Spirit have said unto the seven churches, said it to the churches, Salakia, he that overcometh should not be hurt of the second death. And what is it talking about, overcoming? The beast system. Okay, overcoming the MOTB, overcoming the particular provisions that Esau Edom is getting ready to put forth on our people. Because you have a lot of videos that's coming out now of Jake saying, look, we ain't complying. Because see, what happened was about a week ago, DJ Trump surfaced and he did a speech and basically telling people not to comply. Now that's going to spark austerity in Jake, because for the simple fact, most Jake want Trump back as president because they felt that Biden did such a shitty job. So now, in order to get the 2024 elections up and running, hey, they going to listen to Trump. So when this next such and such comes, it's going to be a lot of chaos behind it. And it's no coincidence that Trump did that speech right a couple of weeks or a month after they announced the so-called new name of the variant, which goes into Eris, which is the opposite of harmonious. And when you think of harmony, you think of agreement or coming together. But Eris is the exact opposite, division, chaos. So this shit is finna go up, man. America is getting ready to go down. It's getting ready to collapse as a power, man, completely. Because not only that, now they're talking about World War III in Ukraine. And once all the global nations align with BRICS, and once they drop the dollar, the U.S. going to get ready to go to war behind that U.S. dollar, man. So we can see a military invasion in the Middle East as early as 2024, man. Okay? Lord's will. Because like Apostle Tahar said, he said, look, we ain't got that much time left, man. This shit is through. You know? Another precept real quick. Because we're definitely in those times, bro. So that's why, hey, brothers, just stay prayed up, man. Keep the faith. And we're living in exciting times. We're getting ready to get the kingdom. Okay, we're getting ready to get up out of our prison, our captivity. This shit is almost over. So this is a beautiful time we're getting ready to enter into. And I can't wait, man. Because honestly speaking, yeah, no 9 to 5, bro. That's right. No more. Jake hate that 9 to 5, man. Yeah, that 9 to 5 is all bullshit. It's folly. Then you getting taxed to death, you know, and then half the taxes you pay, you ain't getting back because you owe that shit. So But yeah, definitely. So this is the book of Luke 21, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses. Let's start at verses 10. It says, "Then he said it to them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." We're seeing that in the form of world wars. Okay, you got the BRICS nations, or the Eastern Bloc, which is pretty much a conflict with NATO, which is pretty much a defense treaty over the westernized or the Western hegemonies, which NATO, National Atlantic Treaty Organization, was started up in 1949 to combat the USSR at that particular time. All right, but it says here, "And great earthquakes should be seen in diverse places, and famines and pestilence," and this new lockdown and these bottleneck and these supply chains. All this shit is gonna cause famine, pestilence, okay, martial law, chaos. You know, people gonna go to the stores, they're gonna act stupid, they're gonna riot, they're gonna follow people home. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out here. But it says, "Great earthquakes should be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence and fearful sights and great signs shall there be seen from heaven." Hey, we seen a host of chariots this weekend. Okay, brothers seen it. I myself seen chariots. Shutting down the Day of Atonement camp 30 minutes into the end of the camp. Sent up some prayers, and the Lord sent a chariot from the east, man. So right there tells you that, hey, we're in them times. And Yahweh Shai is making that known, and he's revealing it through his prophets. And don't mind the cup, brother Salakia, man. It's too far for me to keep reaching down, so I'm going to just hold it in my hand. Trust me, everything in here is lawful. But and it says here, "But before all these they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to synagogues and into prisons." Now the modern day synagogues would be considered like your churches, okay, because technically there's not really synagogues that we worship in this day. Like we even taught that the modern day synagogues outside of churches is really on the highways and hedges, man, coming into the temple of the Lord, because the prophets of the Lord is known as the house of the Most High, the sanctuary. Like it tells you in Ezekiel, it tells you that I will be as a small sanctuary among the countries which I have scattered thee, and that represents the camps. Because, hey, compared to how many Israelites there is, the camps are very small. Okay, like Chicago, they got like 80, 90 brothers in that camp. That's a huge camp, but compared to the demographic of Chicago, it's millions of people in Chicago, so 80 brothers is like a shekel of dirt compared to a beachfront, man. So that's a very small amount of brothers. Same thing in Kansas City. Shit, you got over 2-3 million people here. You got what? Maybe what? 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, maybe 7 brothers, man, total out here. That's actually doing the work. Maybe 8 that's actually putting in the work for the Lord, sincerely. But it says to synagogues and to prisons to be brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. But settle it therefore in your hearts not to meditate before what you shall answer. So I always like to say we can't go into the concentration camps if there shall lie with the premeditated thought or what I'm going to say. Nah, man, because it's already in your spirit. Because whatever allegations they hold you on, if they say, look, man, you're inciting riots, you're inciting chaos, you're inciting insurrections, you're the reason why people ain't getting the you-know-what, y'all are spreading this shit because y'all fear-mongering. Look, you already know the answer to that, man. Okay, and you already know what the scripture said about that. So you don't have to come up with some concocted, preconceived thought to try to get yourself out of trouble, because, hey, the Lord is the reason why you in there in the first place. Okay? Esau, Edom, he can't grab you up and put you in a FEMA camp on his own will. This is the will of the Heavenly Father. And if you know that you've been doing the right thing and you get grabbed up anyway, then what the hell you got to worry about? But you know, if you're being wicked, you know you're causing division, you're causing strife and contention, you're pushing false doctrine, you wishy-washy, man. Okay, you an offense to the brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, and you just being a straight-up total degenerate, then you got a lot to worry about, because the Lord delivered your ass up into the wicked, man. But if you're doing the right thing, then, hey, man, like Elder Manado Zakbar said, he said, look, fucking, man, hold on, let me, damn beat. Bumblebee right there. He look like he's trying to sting Jake, but he be alright. But yeah, man. But if you know you've been doing the right thing, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. You see. But anyway, reading on. You're gonna bring your ass over here. Go over there. Don't come back. But anyway, reading on, and it goes here. It says, "For I will give you a mouth and wisdom which your adversary should not be able to gainsay nor resist. So the Lord is going to put it in your spirit on what to say, how to react. You know, and like Elder Manada Zakba say, he said, look, if somebody come and grab you up, man, I mean, shit, what can you do about it? I mean, you can fight, try to fight, but then at the same time, you get your ass blown away. So it ain't the end all be all. Because remember, the men of the Lord got sent to prison, and then what happened? The angel came and delivered them. So it ain't gotta always be the worst case scenario. Okay, because at the end of the day, you're innocent, you're not harming anybody, you're not doing anything, you've been a productive citizen, you pay your bills, you go to work, you mind your business. So they can't pin anything on you outside of a fucking lie anyway. And then they got a lot of other, they got fucking KKK, they got white militia groups, they got all types of other shit to worry about. So by you being a man in the Lord, yeah, you may be the primary focus, as you a prophet. But at the end of the day, they got a lot of other shit than worry about your fucking ass, man. But nonetheless, that's not to say that they not gonna try it, because they know we have the 100% truth. So we're the men that they're gunning for. But the Lord have a funny way of detouring shit away from you, bro. You just gotta believe and trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. You just can't overthink it. Because I mean, I've heard brothers saying, we've always spoke out of presumption. Oh man, nigga come to my crib, I'm gonna put 20 in them. Nah, you don't know if you're gonna have access to your blick. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how they gonna come in. Because we know, according to, you know, being in the world, being in raids and shit, I already know how they gonna come in. Between 2 or 5 o'clock in the morning, they gonna come when you sleep. You know what I'm saying? They gonna cut the power, they gonna throw the flashbang, boom, the dogs coming. You ain't gonna fight off a swarm of troops and fucking dogs, man. So how you gonna do that? Now, if you get spiritual power, that's one thing. The Lord said when the enemy should come in as a flood, the Lord gonna raise up a standard against them. That's very well gonna happen. But in those cases that don't happen for certain brothers, you just have to wait until the Lord do so. Because he can raise the standard up when they're getting ready to put you in a guillotine. Or he can raise the standard when they're getting ready to do something nefarious to you. Okay? Or it may just be your lot to get your head cut off. Because Revelation 20:4, it goes into those that was beheaded for the testimony and the witness of Yahweh Shai. Okay, so you're going to have a number of brothers and sisters that's going to be beheaded for this word. It's in the scriptures. So yes, it's going to get real out here, man. This ain't a fucking game. All you Israelites out there playing with the mark of the beast prophecy, talking about, well, we can't really definitively state what it is, or we don't have access, or we kind of know this and that. But look, man, fuck all that straddle and offense shit. You see, you have to understand through the spirit what these things are talking about. And we know without a doubt, I'm willing to put my last dollar that the mark of the beast is no other than the RFID micro seal. I'm willing to bet money on that shit. And anybody want to bet, we can bet. I place your bets now. I guarantee I'll take all your money. You know what I'm saying? Shit, fuck it. But you guys that's playing games, you going to be held in division, man. Because you ain't going to know, the Lord ain't going to give you the spirit of stability. Okay? Next precept going down. It says, and ye should be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends. And like I said, this new variant is based on division. Okay, they're expecting chaos. They're wanting chaos. Okay, they want this thing to blow over because they need justification to bring in order out of chaos, man. Now, if you people don't rise up after this new shit that they getting ready to do and they getting ready to bring back lockdowns, if you don't rise up, then hey, I don't know what to tell you, man. Okay, because like I said, we're not inciting insurrections or riots, but they're expecting you to do something. And the average so-called white man, American, the patriot, they're already saying they're not going for this shit. They're like, look, man, we ain't settling for getting put down no more. We ain't dealing with it. So, what y'all gonna do, man? But it says, you should be betrayed by both parents, brethren, and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death, because like I said, division. The first ordeal brought back a lot of division among family members. I always tell this story that I knew people personally that they couldn't even go to their aunt or their family members' homes unless they had the diaper on, or unless, you know, they got the icky vicky. They was pretty much treated like a third-class citizen. They was ostracized, man, all because they didn't comply with government mandates. And those of you that comply with it, a lot of you motherfuckers are just dropping out of the sky like flies now. So what's your explanation for that? But you still gonna have dumb, stupid niggas out here that's gonna say, man, we gotta listen, man. Like that clown Slim Thug 2-3 years ago. He was like, man, y'all need to go ahead and take y'all good, man. I'm tired. I'm ready to go back outside. Like a big ass kid, man. He like a big ass kid that got his Xbox taken away from him, crying. mad at everybody because they don't want to believe the hype that the so-called white man has been pushing on our people. Dr. F, kill gates of hell. You know what I'm saying? And all these other tyrants, that's these unelected officials that's hijacked your system and putting all these draconian laws on your ass when they themselves are not abiding by it, man. Oh, Jill Biden tested positive for the you-know-what. Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe that shit, man. Now all of a sudden, Whoopi Goldberg tested positive for this. I was talking to a client of mine earlier, man, that I work with at a site. And she was telling me, man, she got to go to the hospital or the clinic to go ahead and get ran because for the simple fact her daughter tested positive for this shit. And remember, 3 years ago, there's been coming out that there's been a lot of false positives on this ordeal. So, come on, man. Now, all of a sudden, now they speak about it. Now, all of a sudden, now everybody is testing for this shit. Hell nah, man. You people under strong delusion. All right? Isaiah 66:4. Con. I'll pull that precept in a minute. I just want to get through this, and I'll read a couple of precepts, and that'll be it. But anyway, it says, and you should be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you they should cause to be put to death. And you should be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there should not a hair on your head perish. So, hey, just because they hate us, if the Lord got us, who can take us out of his hand? They can slander you from here to kingdom come. They can make it seem like you the big bad boogeyman. They can make it seem like you fucking Michael Myers and put a bounty out on you. But if the angels got you, who the hell gonna come against you? Hey, Lord said that. Hey, Satan even quoted it to you. Yahushua says, look, if you slip and fall, and your foot hit a stone, the angel should cast you up. Like, bro, like, I got some crazy stories on how the Most High allowed me to, bro, like, straight up dodge that shit, bro. Like, and they was trying to get Jake, bro. They was trying to get me. And a couple of places, and the Lord was like, nope. Just move me all around to the point they couldn't even touch me, man. So that right there shows me that the Most High is really, he's definitely getting ready to intervene in our favor. And in this time, he's getting ready to intervene on a physical level, because this time they're going to cut food, they're going to cut power, they're going to cut resources. Like Gates said, look, if you want access to any of these things, you got to have that you-know-what inside you. And I don't get it, these other groups. What's so fucking hard about seeing that? He said it, bro. He said, look, in order for us to integrate back in society, you have to have a national registry, bro. But you still got niggas that saying, we don't know what the mark of the beast is. What are you talking about? Esau declared it. But see, Jake, they want Esau to say, well, the Smicro C is the M-A-R-K, or the mark of the you-know-what. They want E to come out and say that, and he's not going to say it that way. It's called extrapolation through the scriptures, man. Rightly dividing the word of truth. It's called righteously dividing the word of truth, man. Spiritually speculating, common sense. You know? But it says, and you should be head of all men, but there should not a hair of your head perish, and in your patience possess ye your souls. And then it says, and then when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, and we know that Jerusalem is a people now, because clearly we're not in our place, and clearly it's not them people over there in the land. Okay, they're not the people of the Bible, and honestly speaking, their elites will tell you that. Okay, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Schiffs, you know what I'm saying, the Lee, well, not the Lee, they're a Gook family, but even them, but the Gates, man, the Clintons, the Kennedys, they all know that they go back to Esau, Edom. It's just you lower level common folk that don't know that. All right. But it says, and when you should see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. Now, this is going back to 70 AD. To be honest, 67 AD, which is the start of what they call the Masada period, during the time of the Flavian dynasty, what they would call the Jewish-Roman Wars. Okay, during the time when you had men like Sakari and other zealots that seek to overthrow the Roman government because of the taxing period, and they got all disbanded. Okay, so that was a big civil war in Israel versus Israelites and the Roman authorities, which was led by Titus and Vespasian and Domitian Caesar, which Domitian Caesar was actually the Caesar, or the president at that time, over the Roman province that sentenced John the Apostle, or the Apostle John, to the island of Patmos to pretty much serve out judgment and to be persecuted. And that's when John the the apostle or John of Revelation, which he was a prophet, that's when Yahweh Shai sent the angel to him and revealed everything we're talking about now. So when people say, oh, Revelation is a sealed book, it's not a sealed book anymore, because clearly we're going into it and we're breaking it down. All right. But it says, then them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Okay, and we understand that 80 to 90% of the prophecies written in the Old Testament is meant to be fulfilled today, because Isaiah 13, that's prophecy. Jeremiah 50:51, that's prophecy. Okay, Isaiah the 14th chapter. When you go down to like the last couple of verses, when it said that Babylon should be a desert for doleful creatures and desert creatures, that's talking about a future prophecy. Okay, ancient Babylon was never laid completely desolate, which you look up ancient Babylon today will be the province of what they call Iraq or Mesopotamia, which I believe will be like, what, 70 million people that still inhabit that particular land. So that's pretty much, that prophecy doesn't fit ancient Babylon, but this modern day Babylon, which is America. All right, and it reads here, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there should be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people. Okay, talking about our people, because this new whole ordeal was really targeted. This is the last attempt to get that birthright back from Jacob, man. Okay, this is that last hurrah to destroy as many Israelites as they possibly can on this side, because this is Esau's final attempt to totally rid us of the blessing. And those of us that overcome, then hey, we gonna be good. But those of you 2/3 out there that play games with the Lord and you consenting to this man, then hey, we just see you on the next side. Because hey, I'm not fucking consenting to that shit. The spirit is still on me, Lord's will. Hey, we ain't giving in to that, brothers. We gonna fight, and we gonna do it in the name of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, we not taking no goddamn micro C-hip. All right, fuck all that, man. Because hey, this is Esau is going down. No matter what they do to us, hey, this man is going down. He's not gonna win. So keep that mindset. Keep that star mindset about you, because we just read in Revelation 2:11, those that overcome. You know, overcoming is everything, man. Because if you don't overcome, then what was the whole point of you going this far in the truth? You making it this far just to get scared and fall out? Hell no, man. The men that's in this thing and that's sincerely grounded in this thing, I know and I believe, and I'm 144% sure that the Most High is going to put an even stronger spirit on us, man. Because that's how he deals with his elect, man. He's not going to let you come this far after you've been serving him and drop you like a bad habit, unless you just wasn't chosen from the get-go. You know? Hold on 1 second, brothers. Let me turn this shit down. Salaki, give me 1 second. Salaki, man, that TV was kind of loud up in there. But reading on, it says, in those days, for there should be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people, and they should fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations, which has happened already. All right, but going down to the next verse, it says, then there should be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, man. Okay, the nations are in perplex. They're bucking up, man. Everybody is coming against the system. Nobody believes in it anymore. Everybody is speaking out against the tyrannical deeds. You got insurrections over there in France due to pension reform. You know, they're trying to raise the retirement age to like 70, 65, 70, which those Frenchmen, they have some type of backbone, because you Americans, you can't even retire until you like, what, 65, 66? And yeah, you niggas are still sitting in your homes. Like the scripture said, wouldn't suffer you to dwell in your sister houses. You niggas are sitting in your plush homes, you know what I'm saying, thinking everything is all good, just waiting on the government to give you answers and Social Security. When in fact, you ain't finna have none of that unless you get that punch in your arm. And it says, and men's hearts fell in them for fear and looking for things after those which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven should be shaken, man. So some big shit getting ready to come, man. Okay, the what is that? What is it? FEMA website or the? I think it was another website. I'm gonna say the DCC. I'll say it that way for algorithm purposes. But basically, they had something about zombie protocols for like the last 5 years. They've been talking about zombie protocols. And if you watch that show, The Last of Us, I mean, they straight up telling you what they're getting ready to do. Now, how it's gonna go down, if it's gonna be like in that movie, I don't know. Who knows, man? I mean, shit, ain't nothing impossible with Yahweh Shimmy Shot. But hey, compared to what they're talking about, that's gonna activate in people's bodies that had the you know what, the tequila junk, the tequila SHOT. I won't be surprised if people are getting ready to really just bug the fuck out, because you can see it. They're aggressive, you know what I'm saying? They angry, they combative, they're not functioning properly, man. I mean, you on a highway, motherfuckers supposed to be doing 70 miles. You got people going 40 miles on the highway, man. I mean, the bare minimum. And just sitting there like ain't nothing happening. So, yeah, these people are getting ready to really lose it. All right? And I'm going to bring out this last precept, and then I'll get a couple on the comment board, and I end it at that. This wasn't intended to even be this long, but, you know, the Spirit does what it does. But this is the book of 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at verses... let's start at verses 67. It says, behold, Yahweh is the judge, and fear him, and leave off from your sins, and forget your iniquities, and meddle no more with them forever. So, hey, man, just walking upright, okay? Walking in the Holy Spirit. Just trying your best to do the best you can, man. Just giving it the best you can every single day. You know, do your videos, pray, fast, whatever you got to do, man. You know, kick it with the brothers and stuff like that. And, man, just fucking kick back, bro. Like, don't make it a lot harder than what it needs to be. Because this is a very hard walk, man. And oftentimes, Jake make it more harder than what it needs to be. That's why the scriptures say, why afflict thyself in thy own counsel? Look, man, this is a hard walk. You want to make it as tolerable as possible, bro. All right? And that means whatever you got to do to make your calling and election sure, do it. All right? But it says here, so shall Yahweh lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. So, hey, we keep being faithful to the Lord, then he's going to deliver us from all trouble. Okay, like me personally, I'm not worried about this time we coming in. I'm not worried about it. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Now, it is a little unnerving at times when you start to overthink it, like, damn, like, I feel like this in the body. My body feels this way. But honestly speaking, I'm not worried about none of this shit, man. Because honestly speaking, since before I even knew I was an Israelite, I was 5 years old, 4 years old, 5, 6 years old at the most, asking when this world was going to end, when it was going to go down. So from the beginning, I believe I had a calling through the Holy Spirit. Now, I'm not saying that I'm of the elect. I believe I am, and I have confidence that I am. But that's up for Yahweh Shai to determine. But like Apostle Tahar said, he said, man, start calling yourselves the elect, the hopeful elect. It ain't no average 5, 6-year-old thinking about the world ending at fucking 5 years old. That's some weird shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to my parents, man. I'm like, when is the world gonna end? When the world gonna end? Having visions of the world blowing up and stuff, seeing it in my mind as a fucking kid. That's not normal, bro. And then all of a sudden, fucking 20-some plus years later, I'm in the truth, talking about everything that I've seen as a child, and other brothers can attest to that. That's a heavy calling, man. And it's not to be taken lightly. All right? And it says, the Most High shall lead you forth and deliver you from all trouble. And it says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they should take away certain of you and feed you, being idle of things offered unto idols, man. And we know what that is. Okay, like I said, the FEMA report, or what Alex Skull and Bone, you know what, brought out. He basically stated, look, man, they exhausted their means, meaning their money, to get this new thing. And basically the whole point is to create a hysteria, a scare, because everybody is so afraid of losing their money, their pensions. They're so afraid of losing loved ones because they still holding the lie today that everybody that succumbed to the you-know-what was due to the pestilence instead of the actual three-pointer. You still got idiots out there that believe that people were dropping dead from the pestilence itself, and that's not the case. Shit had a 99.5% survival rate. How the fuck you got millions of people dying from shit that have over 100, damn near a nearly perfect survival rate? Now, of course, you know, we enter a fall time. You got seasonal shit. You got that always been around, of course. But people are starting to link it that maybe people are dropping because of the you know what. Even people in that medical field, they starting to figure this shit out. They like, wait a minute, something ain't right about this. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I was doing today, you know, because I was like, I'm about my health and stuff like that, and I was like, you know, I've been feeling kind of finicky since everybody caught the Omarion last year, and you know, they talking about, I'm gonna say it this way, cat shedding hair, you know what I'm saying, from drinking the juice, you know, people shedding hair and dog hair and all this other shit. 600,000 a year, wow, that's a lot of people, bro. You know what I'm saying? But basically from drinking the juice, you know, dog shedding hair, you around dogs, a lot of times you get allergies from it, if y'all know what I mean. So I went to go get one of those, like some blood drawn and shit, to make sure I don't have any type of SPROTINS in my blood from that or people, you know what I mean? And the dog shedding hair inside me, you know, because a lot of times you breathe shit in through chemicals, you can get affected by it. Okay, so you know, I'm just making sure we all good, making sure I'm completely good, because like I said, man, people getting ready to lose their goddamn minds, bro, and people are literally dropping from this. All right, and whether they want to admit it or not. And you people out there, man, that's holding on because you got a fucking job, man. If you are gonna sell yourself short over a fucking job in a goddamn apartment, in a vehicle, then you seriously have no faith, man. You got people afraid to speak out against this because, oh man, what about my job? Look, man, you ain't put two and two together yet. Then none of us is getting ready to be working in a little bit. Once the dollar collapse, Lord's will next year. Once the dollar collapse, man, you think any of us is gonna be fucking working? Hell nah, man. I don't even plan on working this coming fall because I know they're getting ready to spice up the security shit at work due to everything that they're concocting on TV now. So I already know they finna start targeting people. Well, hey, you gotta go do this. Nope, if I can't get exemplified from it, then I ain't working here no more. I'll go find somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? I got credentials. I can go do whatever the fuck I wanna do. So fuck y'all and your job, man. That's how I feel about it. But anyway, and it says, and they should consent, it says, to take away certain of you and feed you being idle with things offered into idol. And you other groups out there that's playing games, you gonna be in a state of derision, man. Because now you're gonna be convincing yourself like, wait, man, this ain't it, but this. Then a lot of you leaders, man, like Captain General Yohanan Tazariak, a lot of these leaders of these congregations, man, they sending y'all off. Because honestly speaking, I don't see Captain Tazariak getting this shit. Like I think he's smart enough to know that, look, even though Yohanan is pushing madness, Tazariak, he ain't no fool at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But don't matter because the Lord is gonna judge him too. Because for the simple fact he's pushing false information. But it says they that consented to them should be had in derision and a reproach and trodden underfoot. So whether you accept it or not, you fucked if you do, you damned if you don't. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So hey, I'd rather be damned on the good side of not dealing with the madness and being delivered by the Lord before I deal with them and get jacked up by Yahweh Shai. Okay, you got to compare the options. Who can do the most damage? Esau or Yahweh Shai? And in my case, it's like this. Because the scriptures say, hey, don't fear him that has the power to destroy the body, but fear him that has the power to destroy both body and soul in hell. Okay, that's who we need to fear. Yahweh Shai, not no fucking devil that the Most High gave control over anyway. So we ain't to fear Esau, Edom, for you brothers out there that may be a little finicky about what's getting ready to happen. Just chill and relax, man. Go have a fucking drink, man. Go have some shakar or something. Chill, rejoice, man. We should be rejoicing. We should be, like, literally rejoicing in the hell that's coming. You know? The last couple of precepts, and I'm going to end it. It says, for there should be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And that's talking about our people, the Israelites, okay? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, what that brother saw in the vision and the videos that Amawan Gabar went into, and with this guy, Alex Skull and Bone, you know what? Alex Skull and Bones. Everything that they're talking about is pretty much a playbook right out of 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. Like Apostle Tahar say, these scriptures are going to be jumping off the pages, man. And it says, spoiling and fear the Lord, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. It says, and they should be tried as gold in the fire. But here, O ye my beloved, says Yahweh, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. So be ye neither afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the God of them who keep my commandments and precepts, says the Lord Yahweh. But let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift themselves up. But woe be unto them that are bound with their sins, and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and a path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed, and it is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith, man. Alright, so anyway, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, brothers, some good precepts. Matthew 13. Yes, sir. But yeah, brothers, man, I'm going to end it there, giving all praises and glory, honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. And with that, Shalom and above all, Lord's will you edified and encouraged. Shalom.